You are now listening to the Shaw Report with Damian Banks.
Hello.
What's happening? What's up? What's going on? It's the Shaw Report, and I am your host, Damian Banks. Shaw Bears alum and fans rejoice. This is your very own podcast, the Shaw Report, the official podcast of your Shaw University Athletic Department. Again, I am your host, Damian Banks. Thank you for joining me week in, week out, while I give you the latest and the greatest of the goings-on within the athletic department at your Shaw University. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for the support. You can find this podcast on shawbears.com, also on my website, banksboy.com, and also on iTunes. Search the Shaw Report, and we thank you kindly. We're back at it, but if you happen to listen to the podcast last week, want to give another thank you and shout out to Head Coach Adrian Jones and the Shaw University football team. The Bears are preparing for their season opener in September the 7th to be exact, at Campbell University. We're going to talk about the football team a little bit later. Had the opportunity to check those guys out this past weekend at Chavis Park. They inter-squad scrimmaged against each other this past weekend at Chavis Park. We're going to talk about that on this week's episode of the Shaw Report. Also going to be talking about the men's cross country and women's cross country teams. Head coach Frantz Kwame-Smith is the catalyst for those two programs. We're going to be talking about that on this week's episode of the Shaw Report. And we're also going to be talking about the Shaw University volleyball team, defending CIAA champion volleyball team. The Lady Bears have hired a new coach. His name is Jonathon Paulk. Coach Paulk comes over from Lewisburg College, where he was at last season. Coach Paulk also has experience at North Carolina Central as an assistant. Now, as you know, the Shaw University volleyball schedule was just announced. It's up on shawbears.com if you want to look at the women's volleyball schedule. Now, the Lady Bears are coming off yet another CIAA championship, their second in the last 3 seasons. Give those women a round of applause. Coming off another CIAA championship in volleyball, as well as an NCAA appearance for the second time in school history, the Lady Bears are on fire. 23-9 overall last year, 17-2 in CIAA play. Now, the Bears do lose a lot of firepower on the court. Soraya Klink is gone. Michelle Omida Gonzalez, setter of the year in the CIAA, she's gone. Kavisha Watley, Offensive Player of the Year in the CIAA, she's gone. Kelly Murphy, Defensive Player in the CIAA, she is gone as well. So the Bears lose a lot of firepower in volleyball. That's a lot of firepower to replace for the volleyball program. And head coach Jonathon Paulk in his first season has some big shoes to fill again. 2 out of the last 3 CIAA championships have come back to Raleigh. So Coach Paulk is losing a lot of players on the court. He's going to have to replace those players, and he has to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. The Bears open up their season September the 6th in Florida at the Volleyball Shark Invitational, hosted by Nova Southeastern University. For more information on the schedule for the volleyball program, go to shawbears.com. It's going to be 6 home matches this season, all at historic C.C. Spalding Gymnasium. So let's pack the place and support head coach Jonathon Paulk and the volleyball program. Also getting started in a couple of weeks is going to be the women's and men's cross-country program. Head coach Frantz Kwame-Smith heads that program. He's going to be getting his teams, both the women's and the men's cross-country, that is, ready for their season opener, August the 30th at the Elon Xcountry Opener. Now, Toritich Kiplagat is the headliner for the men's cross-country program. He finished all CIAA last season, finished 4th overall in the CIAA championships. Again, all CIAA for Toritich Kiplagat. And on the women's side of things, they're led by Katie Ann Went, finished 12th overall at the CIAA Championships, making the all-CIAA squad for the second straight season. So head coach Frantz Kwame-Smith is getting both of those squads ready for their season opener again August the 30th at the Elon Xcountry Opener. For more information on the men's and women's cross-country programs, visit shawbears.com. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, we rocking, we rolling, we getting to it, but I gotta take this commercial break. Don't go anywhere, but if you do, come right back. You're listening to the Shaw Report on shawbears.com. Today's podcast is brought to you by Summit Hospitality. Summit Hospitality is a proud sponsor of Shaw University Athletics. With 6 Marriott-branded hotels in the Raleigh area, Summit Hospitality can manage all of your lodging needs. Make your reservations for your family or a group by calling 919-669-0576 and let them know that Shaw University Athletics sent you. That's Summit Hospitality, 919-669-0576.
Listen to the Shaw Report with Damian Banks.
What's happening? Welcome back to the Shaw Report, the official podcast of your Shaw University Athletics. Again, I am your host, Damian Banks. Thank you for joining me week in, week out. Well, I give you the rundown of all the goings-on within the athletic department at Shaw University. Thank you to our sponsor, Summit Hospitality. If you're in the Raleigh area, if you're in town trying to check out a football game, a cross-country match, a volleyball match, whatever you got going on in Raleigh, go to Summit Hospitality. They can hook you up. Several Marriott-branded hotels in this area. Go to summithospitality.com. Tell them Sports by Damien sent you. But I digress. Before the break, we talked a little bit about women's volleyball kicking their season off September the 6th in Florida at Nova Southeastern University. They're going to be taking on a couple teams down there in a tournament to kick the season off. Good luck to new head coach of the Shaw University volleyball squad, Coach Jonathon Paulk. In his first season coming over from Lewisburg College, also has tons of coaching experience, so we wish Coach Polk nothing but the best in his first season at the helm for the volleyball squad at Shaw University. Also, women's and men's, or men's and women's, however you want to say it, cross country, head coach Frantz Kwame-Smith. They're going to be starting their season August the 30th at the Elon Xcountry Opener. Go check those guys out. Elon is not that far from Raleigh. Make you a nice little weekend of it. Stay up there. Go to the outlets. Go to the Tanja outlets. Spend you a couple dollars. Check out the men's and women's cross-country programs. For more information on the volleyball squad, as well as men's, women's cross-country, go to shawbears.com. So before the break, again, I told you that the fall semester sports are trying to get ready for their seasons. And you know at Shaw University, football is one of the top-notch programs at the school. So we know we got to shout out head coach Adrian Jones and the football program. His staff are getting prepared for their upcoming season. They're going to be kicking off their season September the 7th at Division I Campbell University. That's in Lillington or Bowie Creek, whichever you want to do. Just Google it. Google Maps that thing. Get your directions. Get your tickets right now. Go support the Bears in their season opener on the road as they take on Campbell University. This past weekend, though, I was able to check out an intra-squad scrimmage at Chavis Park over in Raleigh. Now, the boys were getting it on early in the morning, man. It was so early, it was still dew on the grass over there at Chavis Park. Head coach Adrian Jones and his staff wanted to see where the team was at, both offensively and defensively, thus far in fall camp. I was able to, have a couple conversations with Coach Jones prior to the scrimmage as well as after the scrimmage. But it was an 8 a.m. start for that scrimmage on Saturday. Offense and defense had their moments in the scrimmage. Jones and his staff are emphasizing an improved running game this season for Shaw University. And what I witnessed out there on Saturday at the scrimmage, Shaw has a couple of nice running backs who are able to get to the perimeter, who are able to get the edge. Several nice cutback runs on the offensive side of things. Also had a nice touchdown reception by tight end / wide receiver Cavante Moses, all CIAA tight end. Mr. Moses had a good, I would say, great over-the-shoulder catch for a touchdown in that scrimmage. There's weapons on the offensive side of the ball this year for Shaw University. Defense had their moments, had 2 interceptions towards the end of the scrimmage, but they did end up giving up a long touchdown pass as the scrimmage ended. So again, offense and defense had their moments in that scrimmage. I was impressed with the fact that those guys were ready to play at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday when it pretty much didn't count for anything because it was just a scrimmage. The enthusiasm by both the offense and the defense, you could tell that those guys are really getting into the swing of things at fall camp. And the major thing, number one, numero uno, was that there were no injuries. Nobody was hurt during the scrimmage. There was nobody that season was ended during that scrimmage. Nobody got hurt. No concussions, no twisted ankles, no twisted knees, no broken bones. So that's the number one thing that you can take out of the scrimmage from this past Saturday for the football team. No injuries. And I know Coach Jones and his staff are really excited thus far in this part of camp. I talked to him after the game and he, just couldn't stop raving about the progress of both offense and defense. Said that the offense is light years ahead this year as opposed to last year. So you got to love that, man, because there are big expectations this season for the football team at Shaw University. They finished second last season in the Southern Division, just 1 game out of representing the Southern Division in the CIAA Championship game in Salem, Virginia. So hopefully this year, Coach Jones and his staff can get those guys over the hump, and it all gets started September the 7th at Campbell University. For more information on Shaw University football, visit shawbears.com. Well, ladies and gents, boys and girls, thank you for rocking with me week in, week out on the Shaw Report, the official podcast of Shaw University Athletics. The Bears are also on social media. Follow the Bears on Twitter at Shaw Bears, on Instagram at SU_Bears. I am also on social media. On Twitter, it's at Sports by Damien, and on Instagram, it's at Sports by Damien. That's SPORTSBYDAIMEON. But I digress. You know what time it is. You know how we do, so don't act brand new. Remember, never take no for an answer. And if the door is locked, dig a tunnel underneath the building and sneak your way in. This has been another episode of the Shaw Report. I am your host, Damian Banks. I got 2 words for you people. I'm gone. A heap sees, but a few knows. Only a few. So many have come before, but only a few can go. We invite you to our house. Just make sure you wipe your feet at the door.